Today I'm starting a simple experiment in the garden. In front of me I have 2 sweet potatoes and a pineapple crown. One is something we normally eat, and the other is a part of the fruit that many people throw away. Yet both have something in common. Under the right conditions, both have the potential to become a new plant. And that raises an interesting question. If I start with just 2 sweet potatoes and 1 pineapple crown divided in 4 parts, how many plants could they eventually produce? That's what I want to find out. Now, I don't know exactly how this experiment will turn out. I've seen people propagate sweet potatoes before. I've seen people grow pineapples from crowns. But every garden is different. Every plant is different. And sometimes nature has a way of surprising us. So today isn't about showing results. Today is simply about beginning. The sweet potato will be my first experiment. Many people are familiar with planting seeds, but sweet potatoes are a little different. Instead of growing them from seed, gardeners often grow them from slips. Slips are shoots that emerge from the sweet potato itself. Those shoots can later be removed and planted, creating entirely new plants. What fascinates me is the multiplication. One sweet potato doesn't necessarily become one plant. Given enough time, it can potentially become several. So, I'm placing these sweet potatoes in water and giving them an opportunity to grow. Right now, it doesn't look particularly exciting. It's just 2 sweet potatoes sitting in a container. But gardening often starts this way. The most dramatic transformations usually begin with something very ordinary. A seed maybe, or a cutting, a tuber, a crown. At the beginning, they rarely look impressive. The real story unfolds later. Now let's move to the pineapple. This part may be even more interesting. When most people eat a pineapple, the crown ends up in the garbage pile or the compost heap. But hidden inside this crown is the ability to become another pineapple plant. That alone is remarkable when you stop and think about it. A single pineapple can potentially lead to another pineapple, and then another, and another. Today, instead of planting the entire crown as one piece, I'm trying something slightly different. I'm dividing it into sections, 4 sections. The idea is simple. If these sections contain the right growing points, perhaps they can produce roots and eventually become separate plants. Will it work? I'm not sure. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this experiment. Gardening isn't just about repeating what we already know. Sometimes it's about testing ideas and seeing what happens. Sometimes it's about curiosity, and curiosity is often where the best lessons begin. At this moment, both experiments look incredibly simple. There are no roots, no slips, no vines, no dramatic growth. Just 2 sweet potatoes in water and pieces of pineapple crown beginning their journey. But every garden starts somewhere. Every harvest starts somewhere. Every plant that fills a garden bed once began as something much smaller. That's one of the reasons I enjoy propagation. It reminds me that growth often begins quietly. Long before we see leaves, long before we see fruit, long even before there is anything impressive to show. The process begins long before the results arrive. For now, all I can do is wait. The sweet potatoes will remain in water, the pineapple sections will remain in water, and nature will take over from here. Over the coming days and weeks, I'll continue checking on both of them. I'll be watching for signs of growth, I'll be watching for roots, and I'll be watching for slips. And most importantly, I'll be watching to see which method produces the most new plants. Will the sweet potato outperform the pineapple? Will the pineapple surprise me? Will both succeed, or will one fail completely? Right now, I honestly don't know, and that's what makes this interesting. We are starting this experiment together without knowing the ending. The answer doesn't exist yet. It's something we'll discover over time. So consider this the beginning of the story, the starting line. Sweet potatoes, pineapple crown, and a simple question: how many plants can they become? We'll find out soon enough. Until then, thank you for spending a little time in the garden with me today. If you've ever propagated sweet potatoes, grown pineapples from crowns, or tried similar experiments, let me know in the comments. And if you're curious to see what happens next, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the update. I'll see you in the next stage of the experiment.